everybody, and welcome to my video today. I have something a little bit fun that I'm going to do. I don't know why I do this to myself every single year. I think I'm not going to do an October daily or 31 days thankful because it just is like in the middle of the sort of rush, and I know like I'm gonna be doing December daily and like it can get to be a little like too many projects, but every year I just love fall stuff and I want to do something fall. So what I've decided to do is I'm gonna dive in and do it, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim this down. This looks like a fun size, and I'm gonna trim it down and put it on discs like my creative journal. And if you missed this, I put this together a few weeks ago, and it's just I just made the cover and I put it on discs, and I used a punch that I have, and then I've been doing really fun layouts in it. I did this for my members, and then I did this one. I'm not sure if this one's posted yet or where it's posted. And then I did this one, and then I've just been having some fun in this, and I thought I would do the same thing for this little fall journal. I don't know, I guess maybe I'll do it. I guess I'll just call it an October daily, since we're in when I'm filming this, we're in the middle of September. So I think I will just call it an October daily. I wanted to do the craft cover. I really love that. I think it's beautiful. And the product that I'm going to use is actually some stuff that I purchased and then printed out. This is from Tracy Reed, and it is the Amber Glow and the Autumn Enchantment, I think is what it's called. I'll link both collections down below, and I am going to fussy cut some of these items, like all of these embellishment pieces. I will just go ahead and fussy cut these out. I just printed them on my normal printer setting, so they're a little faded. I might add some Wink of Stella or some stickles over them, some glossy accents. They're relatively muted. I think the collection probably could be a lot brighter if I had printed it on like the best, like the on my printer, like the best setting. I just did it on normal. So I printed several sheets of the embellishments out, and I'm gonna mix the collection. Yeah, this is the Autumn Enchantment and then the Autumn Glow. And so I got some cards. Oh, and as I'm looking at this, okay, I don't have to print that other sheet that I thought I did. So I got the cards, and this will be way too much. I won't even use all of this, I'm sure of it. Like I said, I printed a couple of the embellishment pieces. Then these are the cards. And then I'm also in the process of printing out both sets of paper. And then I might also print out the Traveler's Notebook set. So I'm gonna trim all of this up and cut all of this out, and then trim this down and put the rings in it, the discs. I have more of these clear rings, and I think that's what I'll use. And I'll get all of this situated, and then I have a ton of fall stamps that I can use, and we'll go from there. And I'll show you the start of this project and how I am going to attempt to come up maybe with like a template that I can follow that might make it easier. So let's do that. Let's get all the pieces trimmed up, and then let's go from there. Okay, so I'm trimming this down. Originally, I was going to try to use my X-Acto knife. I ended up realizing it would just be easier to use scissors or my trimmer, so I did that. I trimmed it down a little bit from its original size, so I didn't keep it at exactly this size because of the way I had to trim everything down. I will also say that this isn't necessarily, it's not at all a Halloween themed item or project. I don't do Halloween stuff. Like, we don't do Halloween stuff in our house. Sometimes the kids will dress up to go to school, like if the school is doing something. But we don't do trick-or-treating. We don't do scary movies. We don't like, I never liked that as a kid. I really hated Halloween. So I just never did stuff with my kids as a result of that. As they've gotten older, they've done things like Kayla went to a Halloween party with her friends last year and they went trick-or-treating and that was totally fine. So this is more of a fall album for me. I've been watching a lot of different October daily items, but they're all very, very Halloween based and they're all like people love Halloween, which is totally fine. I'm not approaching it that way. This is going to be more of like my 31 Days of Thankful type of mini album, but like also featuring like October and just all of the fun things. I will still have my basic items in my family album for Project Life. I'll still do that. These will just be more fun stories. I already have a couple that I know for sure that I want to share or like talk more about, and one of them will be some Snoopy items. My daughter Kayla, our oldest, she loves Snoopy, and I oftentimes will send her little Snoopy or Charlie Brown type of like memes. And then one of the things we love doing in October is watching The Great Pumpkin Patch, and then we also watch Boo Fest, which is from Curious George. It's a show that I always watched with the kids when they were little, and it is like one of our fall traditions is that we watch Boo Fest every year, and so that will be exciting. So I'll tell some of those stories. I'm just using this punch, and what I will end up doing is trimming some of it down to make sure the holes are in the middle of this project. And then I just take a Sharpie and I mark on my punch like where things need to be for certain projects. The lines that are on there are for my creative journal, and you can always wipe that Sharpie off, if you need to change those or things shift or change. You just take a little bit of nail polish remover or alcohol, like an alcohol wipe, and it'll come right off. So I'm just gonna punch these and then I'll put the rings on them. I'm sure I will be covering a lot of this paper. This particular paper that was in this journal is very, very thin. It is thinner than like probably copy paper, like printer paper. So I definitely will probably be adding a lot to these, but that will be the point for me, will be to play with this really fun product. Now you're going to see that I get my Cricut out in the next clip. I have a little clip for you where I got my Cricut out because I had thought, like, I wonder if I could figure out how to cut these on my Cricut instead of fussy cutting them. I will end up doing both. I will have some that I will cut on my Cricut, and then I had already printed all of those other ones out, so I didn't want to waste them, so I did end up fussy cutting them. But in the future, now that I know that it's so easy to do that, I will definitely be cutting them out on my Cricut in the future. But I love this size, and I feel like this will be a great little size for this project. And then I will also be using this product that I purchased and printed out for my September Project Life family album because I have so much of it. No, I'm sorry, maybe my October. One of them. I'll either use it for September or for October, just because I have so much of the product left. It'll be easy to use. And it's very seasonal. It's very beautiful. I really love the way it all came out. And I'm going to have a lot of fun using this. Okay, I know this clip is a little dark, but I'm going to add it to the video because I thought, well, let me just try using my Cricut to cut this. And the thing is that you have to print it from your Cricut first. Like, you have to do the print it and then cut it. You can't just print it out. So I already had a bunch of these printed, but they're too big to actually then put in the Cricut and cut. So I just did a test where I printed it first and then cut it right from the Cricut software, and it's cutting perfectly. So I think I'm still gonna fussy cut these out because I already printed all of this and I don't want to waste all of this that I printed. But in the future, when I do this, I definitely think this is the way to go because you can see it's like just cutting everything and you wouldn't have to fussy cut it. I will link in the blog post that I'm talking about this stuff. I will link the video tutorial I watched because I actually watched one from Tracy Reed. She had an excellent one. It's a little bit like the software has been updated, so I had to like figure out where the exact settings were. However, it was perfect. And then using the Cricut, I use the Cricut and not the Silhouette because I feel like the Cricut is easier to use. It's more manageable. It's like easier to just figure out. It's not as complicated. So I think in the future I will print and cut because I think it is easier. But for this project go around, I think that I will just continue to fussy cut these. It's the next day and I'm back. And I'm not positive where I left off yesterday, but let's look at what I'm thinking. First of all, I pulled out, I just have like a container of like little containers, have other containers in it. And I pulled some of these out because I want to contain all of this stuff. Particularly, I was thinking I could use a couple of these. These are just like, this was a rechargeable battery box, and this is a top to a box, and this is a little dish. So I want to contain a couple of these things. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and leave my October stamps out that I had out for another reason. I'm going to leave those out because I obviously will probably want to use them for this project. I went ahead and put the rings on here. It's a little wonky because there's not that much here. Like this is really thin compared to these discs. However, I want space to be able to expand and have room to be able to put, you know, puffy things or like dimensional things on here. So I think that this will actually work really well. I think I counted 20 pages in here. And so if you think a page a day, like there's the front and there's the back, but some days might have a double spread, this should be enough for all of October. So I went ahead and put the rings on there to keep everything together and so that I wouldn't lose, you know, the rings wouldn't go everywhere. So I think I'm just gonna maybe put that in here for now. And then this is a lot of the stuff I started cutting. So these are a bunch of the embellishment pieces. So I printed double pages, like I printed 2 of this page, and then you can see like I printed 2 of this page. And I'm just fussy cutting these. Now you can, her collections, you can use like your Cricut or your Silhouette. Now her files say Silhouette, but I've cut them with my Cricut. And they're made with a border where they will cut. Probably at the end of the day, it would be easier if I would just spend the time to get my Cricut out and go ahead and cut these. I don't know, I might try to do that maybe with one of these. I don't know. I was just sitting and fussy cutting them. I had a day where I was really exhausted, and so I was just sitting on the couch, and it was hot. So I was like, I'm just gonna sit on the couch and fussy cut and watch a movie. And I cut a bunch of these. I also was able to use a circle punch for a couple of them. So these all will still need to be cut, and I just have those in a pile. But these are the ones that I've started cutting. And they're the ones like you've just seen on all the sheets. So what I was thinking is that would be great for this kind of like, I just want to make sure they're all contained and not going to get lost in the shuffle. So I thought if I had a couple places, I kind of have like tags all in one. And then these are the, like the traveler notebook size pages. Now I did not print all of them. I only printed ones that specifically had something like this. And then like these were probably on a page together. So it printed, there's a PDF and then it prints together. So I just chose the pages that had something that I thought would be fun. And these, oh, these will fit right on here actually. So that's good to know. So I have those, and I can print more of these because I have the digital file, right? So I can print more of these. The majority of what I printed was this. This is a lot. So I did also the cards, and again, I can print more of the cards, which I probably will print more of the cards because I am going to use this collection, these two collections also for my October Project Life family album, because typically I use something very seasonal for September, October, November, and December. And because I have so much of this, I figured it would be really good to use it in that space as well. So I just wanted to show the designs. Now I purchased the file that had, it might have had the 12 by 12 pages, and then I just put them into a Word document and I printed them. And so I also printed a couple designs. I printed twice because I knew that I would want those designs, that I would reach for them multiple times. And so I printed them a couple times, and then I just went in and I trimmed off. I tried to fill the entire page. And I mean, I did go through quite a bit of paper. I printed on 65 pound Nina White cardstock, and you can get that at Walmart. It's fairly inexpensive. I went through an entire chunk. I mean, I went through a lot of paper. In fact, I was almost worried that I was not going to have enough paper to finish printing. And then there were a couple designs that I just didn't print. I think that honestly there were only like maybe 2 designs, 3 designs that I didn't print, and they were more because it was like a mold like this. There was like one that was like striped like this, that was the same color, and I was like, I don't think that I need multiple of that, of this type of design or color. So I just picked the one that I liked. And then this color in this collection, there wasn't very many of this color, so like I printed 2 of these. And then I think it starts, I think the pink, it started with, no, I think it started with this one. Yeah, so this was one of the collections. I don't know which one. It was either the you know, one is the Amber Glow and one is the Enchanted. And I'll probably maybe need another one of these pinks, or I might be able to find like a piece of pattern paper that I have that is like a pink polka dot that would match this. So that was one of the collections. And again, I just trimmed it down, and then like I only have 1 sheet of this, but say I'm in the middle of creating and I need another sheet of this, I can just go print this individual sheet because I have the digital files. So I was thinking that maybe it would fit in this container. I don't know which. Maybe all of this, like my stamps and everything, will fit right in here and it will stand up more. Right now it's gonna lean, and I don't want it to lean too much. Okay, so then the next collection, oh, maybe, see, I just mixed them up. Maybe it was like that. Yeah, this is, you can see matches like these embellishments. The nice thing is that both of these collections go really nicely together, so I'm not really worried about them being mixed up. I'll use all of this all together. So then I printed 2 of these. And then I know I totally have like orange polka dot, or like, I know I have some items in my stash that will work. I think I printed 2 of those. Maybe not. But like I said, if I want one of these that I didn't print twice, and I think I mentioned in the video yesterday, these are definitely, yeah, I did, see, I knew I did, because that is definitely my style. It definitely is more muted. I watched Tracy's unboxing of hers, and I don't know if I know she's worked with Echo Park in the past, but I don't know if she has them printed in a place where you can buy them already printed. Hers were printed and then packaged in her packaging. So I don't know, but hers were obviously much more vibrant and than what mine are. Mine are really muted. This was definitely a lot of ink. My printer is not the highest quality printer. It is literally like a $150 Canon printer, and it gets the job done. And it's often why I don't print a lot of photos, because it's just not the highest quality. For stuff like this, I'm totally okay with it. You know, someday, I don't know, someday when I'm rich, maybe I'll invest in a better printer. But for now, it works. Like I said, this is more muted than, I mean, for now, it's gonna work just to set this in here. I wonder if I put this in here. Oh, that could work. If I stick this box in here, that will keep it up. I'll put this in here, and then I definitely can, I don't know, can you see? You sort of can't see. Oh, I could just stick this in here at the bottom. That in there, like so. You can actually do this upright. That will keep it like so, and then that can go there, and then my stamps can just, I mean, they don't technically need to be in here. I already had them out. So this way it can all be contained on my desk, because I'm obviously not ready to start working on this project yet. I think I might leave this in here too, just in case I want another container for these here that I just need to continue to cut out. Even if I wanted to, I could stick these in here for now. While I'm in the process, but then that way everything's contained. And then once I'm working on this project, I will have it more just sitting out on my desk and working on it. And then in here, I'll obviously do the cover, and then I'll probably do like a start page of what this is, and then I'll dive in. And my idea is, it won't necessarily be like a daily where, like, I always do this with all the projects. My December daily isn't a daily where I'm documenting something every day. I'll just do stories throughout October, and I will try to do maybe like a thankful thought every day or something. I don't know exactly. I know that doing things daily does not work for me. Every time I try to do something where I'm like, I'm gonna take a photo every day, or I'm gonna document something every day, I get super overwhelmed and I fall behind. And I just know that that style project does not work for me. So instead, like with December Daily, the idea is you tell one story every day. For me, I just take December Daily and I say, I'm gonna tell 25 Christmas stories in the month of December. And it doesn't matter if, you know, sometimes we get our Christmas tree on December 1st, and that will be the first story. Sometimes we get it on December 3rd, and I'll still tell it for the first story. So that's how I'll probably approach this. I really like the size. I think it's going to be a fun size. I don't love the discs, but I'm just not a huge fan of the discs. But again, the flexibility of having the discs and being able to take these out and move them around, I think for me outweighs the dislike of the discs. The other thing is that this paper is really, really thin. It is just, and there's no, it's a cream color and there's no dots or grid on it. And so if I stamp on it, it's definitely gonna bleed through. And there's probably gonna be several times that I cover the whole thing with paper. I love that this will fit right in here. So I love that idea of just being able to use one of these. Like that might be a day. Like that might be all I do. Like that could be fun. Also the cards will fit in here. Now I don't know if a 4x6 card long ways will fit. Yeah, it won't. But obviously the 3x4 card would fit. So these I'll probably use in my Project Life family album. And just like in December daily, there may be some days that pictures show up in both places, or my October Project Life may be thinner. That's what happens in December, is that my Project Life for December is much thinner. It's really just an overview. I don't do a ton because I have like a mini album for that month. So I will tackle all of that in the month of October. You will see all of that when in real time when I'm doing it. I'm kicking around the idea of posting more videos. We'll see how that goes. Also, we have fall break in October, so that will probably be part of the documenting of that. So like I said, the only thing left is really to just cut these out, and I'm fine with doing that. And then we'll dive into this project in October. So you may be seeing this actually for Hello October is when I may post this. So thank you everybody for hanging out with me and checking out my video. I hope you will join me in crafting. You don't have to craft this project, but I hope you're crafting something. Leave me a comment in the comment section below on YouTube. Maybe just drop your favorite fall emoji, a pumpkin or the ghost or something fun. And let's just do some crafts together this fall. So thanks everybody, and I'll catch you in my very next video. Here on the screen are 2 other videos that you can check out if you would like. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked the content. That way YouTube will be kind to me. I will be back this week, later in the week, with more videos and projects for you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you later.